Hi, girly.
Hi, girly.
I'm Eliana,
And I'm Derek.
and this is
Episode 3
of the book club
for the girlies.
On today's episode, we're
Mhm.
going to be talking about a fan
A
favorite.
fan favorite.
Ooh, also real controversial.
Super controversial. A lot of drama, and we're going to get all into it.
Yeah, it's called It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
Yes, ma'am.
We're also going to talk about the movie
Yes, we are.
because
We got a chance to see it this past
yes.
weekend, so we're going to dig into it, do a little comparison, talk about it. Let us know if you've seen it, if you've read it. We want to hear from you in the comments.
Yeah. So,
Let's get into it.
okay.
All right.
So, as we said, the book is written by Miss Colleen Hoover.
Mm-hmm. Should we say I feel like we should say this all the time. Be kind to this author.
Please, yes, be kind to this author. Be kind to each other in the comments. Be kind to us, and be kind to yourselves.
Yes. Okay, now we can get into it.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. Oh, and I mean, let us know what you think.
Please.
So, Colleen Hoover, I've read books by her in high school before. So have you.
Yes, so have I.
I think we read the same ones.
Hopeless.
The Slammed series?
I read Slammed.
I did. And I knew she could bring the drama. I was also really hesitant about reading this one because of my previous experience with her books and also just the people's commentary on the book and what was happening with the movie and stuff. So
right. No shade. I wasn't checking for it. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't checking for it. Just like you said, from previous experiences with the books, I was like, just not my cup of tea. But like, kudos. Love to see
someone doing great.
Exactly. Yeah. Love to see people succeeding. So I was hesitant to dive into this. Didn't have any interest in the movie. Wasn't even really sure on what the story really was about.
Yeah.
So I was in for a surprise.
Yeah, me too. In terms of it being a long or short read, I would say it was a long read for me, just because I didn't love Ryle. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff in the book, so if you don't want to hear about it, close your ears or get to the next video.
Put the volume down really, really, really low, but not all the way off, and let us get the view.
Yeah, please. So, yeah, I thought it was a long read because I didn't love Ryle, and that coupled with his behavior in the relationship made it difficult for me. I think I enjoyed more of the parts that had to do with Atlas and the journal entries.
For sure.
Those I could read quickly, but Ryle was not fun for me. What about you?
So it wasn't it was a slower read for me than other books. Definitely even the second book. I feel like I kind of went through that kind of fast.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was on the ride with Lily. So I was buying into the Ryle a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I do like and I think it's because at the very least, I knew that Justin Baldoni played him. So that's who I was picturing in my head. And if you watch Jane the Virgin, I love me some Raphael. So I was like...
I love Raphael.
Loved Raphael.
I didn't know who was playing who. All I know was that Blake was going to play Lily.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I knew Blake was Lily, and I knew that he was... Actually, I don't know that I knew he was Ryle. I think I just kind of assumed.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I was on the ride with her, and yeah, disappointed in his behaviors when that came. But yeah, that's how it read for me.
Yeah, and in terms of how it's formatted, the book is completely in Lily's point of view, and then she has some journal entries in there that she reads from her teenage years.
How'd you feel about those?
That's a really good question. Again, I liked that we were talking about Atlas. Some of it I was like, oh, such a little kid with like these feelings and
big feelings.
Yeah, the way that she was describing everything. In terms like her talking to Ellen I thought was hilarious.
So did I.
Like, of course, a kid that age is like, I can't have a diary. Can't have a journal. That's lame.
Right.
I'm writing letters to Ellen.
I'll save this for later. I was gonna say.
Okay.
I'll save it for later.
Okay.
But yeah, I also really enjoyed the the flashback journal and her reading the journal entries. I love when books do that. I like a little
like that too.
like, oh, this is the past and present.
Although sometimes I'm like, can you just give me the stuff? Like,
where are we going with
like,
this? Yeah.
I mean, it's good for the author because then I'm hooked.
Exactly. They're doing their job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, I want to know what happened here.
Just an impatient girly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so something I really liked about the book was the journal entries. It was like entries? What did I say? I really enjoyed the journal entries.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what I heard.
That is what you said.
Okay. But it was like an homage even to my childhood. I felt like
I did because you loved Ellen.
I loved Ellen like so much. So I was like, when I got to that bit of the book, I was like, oh, because I loved Ellen, and I miss Ellen on TV.
I do too.
Don't fight me, but I do. She brought joy every day. I miss her. So I was happy to read that, and that like, if I don't know how old, I guess they're a little older than us in present day.
I get, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was in high school when the show premiered, I think she said.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And
wow.
I was in 3rd grade.
Okay.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that, and it felt true. That like that, of course. I was like, of course she's writing to Ellen. Ellen's great. What did you really like about the book, E?
I liked the emphasis on humanizing homeless people. I think when I had difficulty, for example, reading about Ryle, I think the parts about how she felt about Atlas or his situation, and versus how she saw her dad dealing with Atlas or other people like Atlas, I thought it was heartwarming and it kept me reading. At least because I knew that Lily had a heart, and it made me root for her because it made me feel like she'll figure it out.
Right. I was so happy you said that. I was definitely rooting for her.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire book. Like I felt sometimes I feel like the main character, I'm looking at her like, girl, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like that about Lily at any point. I mean, she had moments because she's human that I was like, but you know, for the most part, I was genuinely rooting for her. She felt like a friend. Yeah. So like, kudos to Miss Hoover because she wrote a very likable main character.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I mean, last week we talked about best and worst book girlfriends, so at least Lily's doing some good stuff for us. She's definitely doing some good. We were saying we needed to read some good book girlfriends. And I think Lily would definitely make a future list. Yeah. Stay tuned. I also felt that the story was honest because it, like, Lily was confused and she was dealing with the dilemma of he is not like my dad, but he's also still doing things that my dad did, and like my relationship is not like my parents' relationship.
Exactly.
But it's still not a healthy one. It's still not good for either of them. So I liked that part of the book too. That it was
real. It was very realistic. Yeah. And I think that's also. I'm sorry, were you done?
No.
Okay. I also think that that's what I disliked about the book was how realistic it was and how, and not even in like detail, but I guess I like to escape when I read. Yeah. So, reading about things that could very well be true and things that are happening to people are tough for me. Especially when I like the characters as well. So I disliked that at points I liked Ryle.
Mm.
And that I could understand. And I could understand her forgiving and overlooking. And I was
Yeah.
like, it made me question myself. Because I think, we all think, like, never in a million years. Lily thought it would never in a million
Yeah.
years be her. And I found myself feeling like, oh, like, I'm like, but wait, no, I know he's the villain.
Yeah.
But I did. I liked him sometimes.
I mean, it's honest. It's
Yeah.
how you felt. I misunderstood you when you said, "Where are you done?" I have a few more things that I liked.
Oh,
So
okay.
I love that her mom was honest about what a man that actually loved you would do. That
Mm.
like he wouldn't take you back after
Mm.
that. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't take you back, and also I felt it was honest that she waited out her entire pregnancy to
To make
actually
the
make the
decision.
choice
Oh, I love
when she
that.
had the baby in her hands and was like, "What would you do?"
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also really appreciated that Alyssa. I know you said her name was Elisa, but they even called her Alyssa
I
in
want
the
to know
movie.
in the comments, what are you guys
Yeah, how do
saying?
you say her
Are
name?
you saying Alyssa or are you saying Elisa? Because Alyssa got two S's and Elisa do not.
I don't. It's none of my business. I say Alyssa anyway.
Wow.
Um, so I appreciated that she said, as a sister, I would beg you to forgive him, but as your
Mm-hmm.
best friend, I would never forgive you and I would never talk to you again. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was one of my standout quotes.
Yeah, that same.
Yeah.
And in terms of dislikes, Ryle was too arrogant for me from the first conversation.
Oh.
He was always concerned, at, like you said this before, with just being the best
Mm-hmm.
at everything, which is fine, but like the way that he went about it was so off-putting.
It wasn't attractive.
No, and then I was also concerned, like the moment that she met him, that he was beating up the chair.
Girl, I literally wrote in my notes that from going in completely blind with this story, sorry to cut you off,
No, it's fine.
but going in completely blind with this story, I I had to write down it was a huge red flag. Immediately we meet this guy and I was like,
Yeah.
immediately I was like, this this man is unstable.
Yeah, I agree. And I didn't write this down, but you were talking about the um what's it called? The fact that sometimes you liked him.
Mm-hmm.
I really struggled with the storyline about him accidentally hurting his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Um because sure, I felt bad for that, but I also didn't understand how that was leading into someone that was then hurting other people with their anger because
Yeah.
he didn't do that to his brother out of anger.
Right.
I don't I don't know, that was just weird to
It was
me,
unclear for me
and
too.
every time she would like it was introduced and every time she would feel bad for him for that, it irritated my spirit. I couldn't handle
Yeah.
it.
I didn't even I didn't get that. That was something I didn't like as well. Because I not what does one thing have to do with the other, but what does one thing have to do with the other?
Yeah. And honestly, I just didn't feel bad. Like
I
sure I
feel
felt
bad for
bad for
you as like a
yeah.
child, but I can understand if it was like she told Elisa what was happening to her with him, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, not this again." You know what I mean? Like if it was like a pattern that we seen in his life,
Yeah. I
but it
actually
didn't really seem like like oh he got in a lot of fights as a kid or like
okay, so when they were I think she was at Alyssa's apartment
hmm
and Alyssa wanted to talk to her about Ryle.
hmm
And then Ryle comes in and like anything you say on I don't know what exactly it was, but he was basically like you can tell her in front of me. I thought that it was going to be Alyssa warning her that she had seen Ryle be in other relationships where he
got crazy.
yeah, that's not what happened.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know. I don't
That was
know.
just a little unclear for
I
sure.
also wanted to know like what did you have to say to her then? Because she obviously knew that her brother would get violent. So what did you have to say to her? We never got clarity on that. So I actually would be interested to see things from Alyssa's point of view. Just like a short little.
I'd love a little novella of like
Yeah.
Elisa and Marshall.
All right, so we decided that we would like to rate books. Not on a scale of 1 to 10.
That's boring.
Yeah. And also, we're not reading these books for like literary.
Right, yeah.
Criticism.
We're not the New York Times bestseller.
No, these are just our ratings based on how we feel
about
books. So, for right now, because then we probably will change these ratings.
True.
Knowing us. For right now, we have WTF was that. Then we have interesting but wouldn't read again. Then loved, would read again. Or how will I ever go on? And I know there are a lot of you who know what that feels like.
Right, when you finish a book, you're like, but wait, I need more.
Yeah, you just don't know how you're going to move on with your life after that.
And you're going back and you're reading bits of it because you're like, I miss it.
So, with that being said, how would you rate this book?
It ends with us. Yeah. Book 1, for me, interesting, but I'm not going to read it again.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I agree. It was, no, I don't need it again.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I do think it was a great setup for It Starts With Us.
Yes.
It was necessary.
And you know what? This is skipping ahead a little bit. I would watch the movie again.
Same.
I wouldn't read the book again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on to our next segment.
Which is?
We're going to do a little quiz.
Ooh, I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm going to be asking the questions. She's going to be answering. So, the quiz is going to be based on quotes, things of that nature. First question.
How many questions are there?
I did 4 this time.
Okay, I think I have 4.
Okay. So, the first question is, who said the following? Sweet, life, pink, spring. The choices are Alyssa, Lily's mom, Lily, or Lucy.
One more time. What was the quote?
Sweet, life, pink, spring.
I'm gonna say Lucy said it. No, Elisa said it.
Nope.
Lily said it.
Yep.
Okay.
Alyssa was the inspiration for it.
Okay.
But Lily said it. It was when they were cleaning up the
I figured they were in the shop. Yeah.
Yeah. They were cleaning up the store and Alyssa was talking about what a flower shop reminded her of or what flowers reminded her of.
And what was it? One more time?
It wasn't that specific phrase, but it was like Lily put it together. She was like, sweet life, pink, spring. And then that was the inspiration for it being a completely different kind of flower shop came up.
Which it was.
Yeah, it was. I thought that in the movie it doesn't look the way that I thought it was going to look.
Yeah.
But anyway.
A lot of things didn't look like I thought it would in the movie.
Okay. So, number 2, which quote did Lily say?
Ooh.
First one is, or A, lots of people don't have the courage to say what they're actually thinking. B, some people don't have the courage to say what they're actually thinking. C, who has the courage to say what they're actually thinking? And D, not a lot of people have the courage to say what they're actually thinking.
Oh my gosh, Eliana, these are all the same.
They have a tiny bit of differences.
I know. I felt called to A. Which is it?
It's D.
Okay, well, which was?
Not a lot of people have the courage to say what they're actually thinking. And it was Lily talking to Alyssa. And it was about Ryle. Yeah. Because he said something vulgar to her. And
Alyssa
yes,
I remember this.
Yeah, Alyssa was like, what?
In the movie, he didn't say that.
Which I'm glad. But
it was
even that, like in the book, that was off-putting. I didn't like that.
Really? I'm like, boys who talk like that, I'd be like, ew.
Okay, so
I'm a lady.
Number 3. Who said the following? Then my plan is working. A. Lily. B. Atlas. C. Ryle. Or D. Alyssa.
Feels like Ryle.
I know, right? No, it's not him.
No?
It was Atlas.
Really?
Yeah.
When did he say that?
I don't think I read deeply into that one, but it was in one of her journal entries, and I think it was like close to when he was leaving to the military school. Not military, military school. Yeah, it was Atlas.
Military school?
That's why, yeah, wasn't he going to military school first and then military? Oh, okay. Anyway.
No, I was thought maybe I misread.
No. But then that's why I chose that one, because I knew
it sounded like Ryle.
Yeah.
It did.
And then Ryle said which quote, and bonus points if you can get how he said it. A. Make it stop. B. I never want it to stop. C. It won't stop. Or D. I don't want it to stop.
Okay, it's B or D. Am I right?
No.
I'm not?
No.
Alright, read A and C to me one more time.
Make it stop. And C is it won't stop.
It won't stop?
No, it's A.
It is A?
It's make it stop.
Make it stop. What did he want?
Do you know how he said it? It was in the flowers that he got her.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
He wrote in the card.
He wrote on the card, make it stop.
Yep. I'm shocked, actually. I think I just tried really hard.
You did.
I did.
Goodness.
Because I'm really bad at this kind of stuff. So
I know.
I wanted to choose fun ones.
They were fun. You did good.
Thanks.
I was just not. I wasn't tapped in.
Next time.
Next time
it's my turn. Next time it's my turn. So we'll see. I'm gonna be a disaster. I don't remember.
You won't.
I don't remember anything though.
I feel like I need to go hard on you now. I'm gonna need 5 minutes.
Okay. Anyway, so now we wanted to talk about some quotes that stood out to us, or tearjerker quotes. I don't know which one we want to go first.
Nothing made me tear.
Okay. I do have a couple ones.
You want to go tearjerker first?
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get it out of the way. So tearjerker, this is, it's so sad. Oh. It was Lily, Atlas says, just keep swimming. And then it's from Ellen DeGeneres. So sweet. That made me cry. No, I wasn't crying, but I really was like, oh. There's that one. And then I told you this happened to me in the movie too. When after she gives birth to Emerson, Lily tells Ryle, what would you do if one of these days this little girl looked up at you and she said, Daddy, my boyfriend hit me? What would you say to her, Ryle? What if she came to you and said, Daddy, my husband pushed me down the stairs. He said it was an accident. What should I do? What if she came to you and said, my husband tried to, I'm not going to say the word, but he held me down while I begged him to stop, but he swears he'll never do it again. What should I do, Daddy? That made me cry.
So that definitely pulled at my heartstrings. It was one of my quotes as well.
Oh.
But what got me is when he says, I'd beg her to leave him. And it goes back to me saying I disliked that Colleen Hoover made me kind of like Ryle. I'm like, so you get it. You get that you're awful?
Yeah.
Like, you're not completely Mr. Bloom. But you're not, you don't deserve this woman and this baby for real. So, some of the quotes that I liked, you said it earlier, but when Elisa says, as his sister, I wish more than anything that you could find a way to forgive him. But as your best friend, I have to tell you that if you take him back, I'll never speak to you again. And I just thought, wow. Like, I thought that was so, like, it really, like, I had to, like, stop. I was like, woo! But I just think that that's, I just think that that's so fierce of Alyssa to say, whatever. Because she could so easily just be like, please forgive my brother, please forgive my brother. But she wasn't. She was, girl, don't do it.
Yeah.
She was a girl. She was a woman. She was a
Yeah.
human. She was a human. Forget any of that. She was just completely removed from the situation. And she said, don't, I'll never speak to you again. And sometimes you gotta draw those boundaries with people
Yeah,
for
okay.
for it to hit them.
Keeping your boundaries also shows people how to keep theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 other quotes that I thought were important. And again, they had to do with the aspect of Atlas being unhoused. So the first one was, not everyone is homeless because they choose to be. They're homeless because there isn't enough help to go around.
Mm-hmm.
And people like my father are the problem. Instead of helping others, people use the worst case scenarios to excuse their own selfishness and greed.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought was important, and I wanted to bring not light or awareness, but I just wanted to bring it up because it was great to see a 16-year-old at the time. Yeah,
A
15, 16 year
privileged
old. Yeah.
15, 16-year-old at that.
Yeah, to
You
have
know,
that kind of recognition of the world around her.
self-awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that is the
absolutely.
age that you're kind of thinking about things that you've been taught
Mm-hmm.
and how you fit in the world.
Making your own opinions
Yeah,
about things. Absolutely.
yeah. I enjoyed
Again,
that.
Lily was very likable. Yeah, she was a good egg.
She was.
Shout out to Mama Bloom. What's her name?
I have no idea.
But we like her.
Yeah. Then this was a scene between Lily and Atlas, and they were in her garden, and she goes, most plants do need a lot of care to survive, but some things, like trees, are strong enough to do it by just relying on themselves and nobody else.
Mm.
Now that I read it, it makes me a little teary. But yeah, I thought that was important, especially for Atlas to hear,
Yeah.
and even for her.
She said a lot of things to Atlas that she also needed to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes them so likable
Yeah.
together too, is that kinship, that friendship. Before it was even romantic or anything. Like, just they really supported each other at a time that was not pretty.
No.
People would, her father was the mayor, so you would just assume that this girl is living the perfect life.
Or even that they would be kind enough to share their resources with
Yeah.
you because you are the mayor.
Right? If my mayor's not helping me.
Yeah, and then the last one also was dealing with that. And it said, I just keep thinking about our country and the whole world and how screwed up it is that people don't do more for each other. I don't know when humans started only looking out for themselves. Maybe it's always been this way. It made me wonder how many people out there were just like Atlas. It made me wonder if there were other kids at our school who might be homeless. I go to school every day and internally complain about it most of the time, but I've never once thought that school might be the only home some kids have.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only place Atlas can go and know he'll have food.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad. It's so true. It's yeah, thank God school is starting soon.
Yeah. Shout out to the schools that give children food for free because we know
Yeah.
they exist, but not
And
in our state, I don't think.
yeah, 5 thumbs down to the schools who won't even give kids their high school diplomas because they owe lunch money.
Yeah, agree. So, on a lighter note,
Yes.
spice it up a little bit. We're going into our superlatives. Superlatives is really supposed to be who we think reminds us most of the characters, or just like a superlative. So, most annoying for me would be Ryle. Yeah.
I said Raw was uh most likely to succeed. And let me let me elaborate a little bit on
I'm
that.
not rooting for you to succeed.
No, neither am I. However, you know how like the kid who was voted most likely to succeed, and I don't even remember who that was in my yearbook, but
I don't know.
it's usually like the most obnoxious kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's sad.
No shade. I generally don't remember who it was. I'm not even being mean.
Yeah.
But you know, just in TV or movies, whatever, it's always
Yeah.
like that kid. And you're like, dude, relax.
Yeah.
You know, but like they be doing it. Like he is a neurosurgeon, and like he goes after this girl, and he gets the girl, and he gets these cool positions, and he has the money, and he has the life, and the body, and the face, and it's just like, oh, you're annoying. So I was like, ugh, most likely to succeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I'm sure I feel like his. Sorry,
No,
I feel like his classmates are probably also like that. They're like, oh, Ryle.
Yeah. Alyssa was really chill for being his
Yeah.
sibling, because I don't think I could handle it. You can't live with me if you act like that. I personally don't think I've ever met anyone who reminds me completely of any of the characters.
Neither.
But I do know women that I've questioned why they stayed, and I'm sure a lot of us do.
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, they weren't experiencing the same things that Lily or her mother went through, but I didn't understand how you could be so smart and then didn't have the courage to believe your own eyes and ears.
Yeah, to take yourself out of the situation and kind of look at it like,
yeah. Yeah, and I think it's just really sad that we don't, in general, we don't encourage people to believe in what they are feeling, what they see. So yeah, that definitely stood out for me. We're gonna talk about our thoughts.
Yeah.
So, okay. Thoughts.
Okay. Thoughts. I really liked the movie. I was talking about it at work, and a coworker was saying that she really disliked it.
Really?
Yeah, she didn't read the book,
okay.
but she didn't enjoy the movie. And I felt like if I hadn't read the book, I would also have realized. I felt like I still would like the movie. I'm someone who, as a kid, I would like read. But my mom would be like, "Oh, if you want to see this movie, or if you want to get this movie on DVD, read the book first. There's a book." So I grew up reading books and then watching the movie.
That's so awesome. I feel like more parents should do that.
Yeah, shout out to Teresa. And it started with like The Princess and the Pauper. I remember it was Barbie. And yeah, so I had to stop doing that after a while because I love to read, and so I would create these movies in my head that I loved, and then I'd go see the movies, and they were like
not it.
They were not living up to it at all. So
I don't understand how that happened.
I don't know either. Who is the creator? Who's behind this?
Is it because of like budget? Like what's going on?
I don't know. Are the directors not reading the book? I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it was to the point where I wasn't doing it. Like, I have not read all of the Bridgerton series because I enjoy watching Bridgerton. I'm like, I don't want to be upset.
And I am upset.
Exactly. I just want to watch. So, I was very surprised and to my liking that I enjoyed this movie so much, and I thought that it was true to the book.
Yeah.
Of course, there were differences, but it was for the most part very true to the story, very true to the book, very true to the characters, and I enjoyed it a lot. I don't really have anything bad to say about the movie.
Yeah. So I also really liked the movie, and I would watch it again. Like I said, wouldn't read the book again. I think it's best as a movie. Don't think it would have done well as a show.
No.
And then I also could see Lindsay Lohan playing Lily. I know you don't agree.
I love you, Lilo. I don't think this is the one for you.
And I just wanted Ryle to be I wanted Justin Baldoni to be Atlas because they kept describing him as a Greek god. And who better in that cohort of people than Justin Baldoni?
Zachary David Alexander Efron.
Wow. No.
I just thought big blue eyes, Greek god. He can't be as ripped as he is. It'd have to be like 2010 Zach.
Yikes.
Or what's the cutie pie from Blake Lively show?
The show
that she was in. Come on, Gossip Girl. Nate.
Yeah.
What's his name? Pretty eyes.
Chase Crawford.
Trace Crawford. He could also have been in that list.
I don't think so.
I'm thinking the eyes. I'm going for blue-eyed starlets.
I just keep thinking, just put contacts in. What?
Never mind me.
Okay. Yeah. So I liked the movie. Lindsay Lohan.
No, ma'am. I love you, though,
I also
Lindsay.
felt like the movie was true to the story. I liked that they kept in Lily's quote at the end of the movie, but I also would have loved it if they kept in her mom's quote too, because they didn't talk. Yeah, her mom didn't say the part about if he loved you, he wouldn't take you back. I thought that one would have been nice in the movie as well. Um, I missed the journal entries, although we kind of see it.
Yeah, I also love the little like they didn't go into like the Ellen bit at like that much, but they were little like
I mean, there was her on the show. I think there was like
the poster of Nemo on her bedroom wall.
I think she did something else in the baby's room, but I forget.
Oh, I think she had the mobile, wasn't it, Dory?
I think.
And Nemo? I think so.
Yeah,
there were little nuggets.
Yeah. But yeah, so I missed the entries. I understood that the story was through her point of view, and then it then showed her reality at the end of the movie. But I didn't get that at first.
Neither did I.
And then I was simply like grateful though to not see the graphic nature of the relationship. So that was my thought on that.
I think yes. I wonder if that was a choice. Well, it was a choice, but I wonder if it was a choice because of what I said, how I was kind of going through it with her.
Yeah.
And maybe like it would have been hard to show once you see it, reading something and seeing something, it's completely different.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we would have seen Ryle, that first time, when she's laughing. I'm wondering if it would have completely changed the you know what I mean? Because it was still kind of not a light movie, but
Yeah, no, I do. See what you're
until if I was to see all those things, it'd be a completely different kind of like. Yeah. We'd all be on eggshells, whereas like that wasn't her reality all the time.
Yeah, you can with it being shown like that, I think you can understand why someone would be confused. Especially
I was confused.
Yeah, especially if like you're not believing your own eyes and ears. If something is traumatic, you kind of don't always want to remember everything that happened, or like you want to twist it a little bit to fit something that hurts less.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I it was done how it was done, and I think Justin did a great job at directing it. I think they all did a really great acting job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I think some people would say that Blake was too old to play the character, but the age thing was never addressed, and I don't think it was a big deal. I don't think it mattered.
Me either. It was something that I was concerned about going into it, but yeah, I wasn't really concerned. I mean, we're not gonna act like Blake is super old.
No.
She's not even mid-30s, right? She's probably like 34.
I think she's like 37.
No.
I think.
No. 36.
I'll
give her 36.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
I feel like she was born in 88.
I think I just looked her up. I thought she was 37.
How did we get here?
Blake Lively. Yeah, she's 37.
She was born in 87?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Y'all like 80s babies is getting up there, Lord.
Let's not even talk about that.
I'm still young, baby.
Right. So, now that we've talked about big screen, small screen, what did you learn from this book?
How to be a friend. To be supportive in that situation. And in every situation. Like Lily was such a great friend. Alyssa was such a great friend. Marshall was a great friend. Atlas was a great friend. Like it was just a lot of great friends. Like it was like great,
a really good community.
Such a great community. Each person they had a really great support system, and even Ryle had great people around him, considering his shortcomings.
Yeah.
It was like a class in like how to be supportive. I thought that was really really sweet, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, everyone should want to have people like that in their lives.
Good people.
So in terms of what I learned, I would like to continue encouraging people to trust their instincts, their intuition, continue to trust what you see, what you hear, how you feel. Because I do feel like, as I said before, we're constantly told not to. And then I also would like to use Alyssa's line. I think that is a good line to keep boundaries. A lot of us don't know how to do it. But I do think it's important, even if it's not someone that is experiencing that kind of relationship, but if it's someone who's just self-sabotaging all of the time, and you're giving so much to this friendship, like you're giving advice, you're there whenever they need to cry. There are some times where you kind of just have to say no more. Would you read more books from this author?
I would read another book about Atlas and Lily. I would. I don't know. Again, I'm not completely sold that Miss Hoover doesn't write, super dramatic books, which isn't always my vibe. So I don't know. I don't know that I would read another one.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a hard no, and I wouldn't say like, oh my god, yes.
So, with my experience with Colleen, before this book, I would have said I'm all set. But after this book, I'm open to it, and especially It Starts With Us. I'm open to it, and I think, well, I mean, for example, I've had people tell me that Verity is a really good read.
Okay.
So I'm interested in reading that. I think I would give her another try. Maybe books that she's written more recently. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe like the books of the past were probably not my vibe.
She had to get in her bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any thoughts about everything we just said,
yes,
about the movie, about the book, please let us know in the comments down below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And also press that notification bell to get notifications when we are uploading.
And be sure to follow us on socials.
All the socials. We'll put a link
in the description.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in our next video where we're talking about
It Starts With Us.
Yeah, so hurry up and read it so we can talk.
Yeah, next meeting. Let's go.
Let's get with it. All right, girlies.
Bye, girlies.
Bye.